Hello everyone. Today is day 7 of Journey to 2500 and currently we are at 2283. So let's start a new game. So we are playing as white. We'll go with d4, d5. Probably I can go with bishop to f4 directly. Also knight f3 is fine, just to see what's my opponent trying to do. Okay, yeah, so then we can go for bishop to f4. And bishop f5. Now this is a very interesting variation, and whenever the bishop comes out, I like to change the setup into c4 instead of pawn c3. I like to go like this because now we have a move like queen b3, and if queen b6 happens, we have pawn to e5, and after takes we can take. So this is, I know this position is good for white, slightly better, nothing much, only very razor thin margin white has. And now we have this idea of b4 b5. So we have to now start evaluating that there are some moves like takes and rook a7. So he plays a6, and I like knight c3 here with the idea to stop these kind of moves and potentially preparing for b4. He's trying to play e5. Okay, I can still go for this b4 idea. Rook c8. Rook c8 is actually a decent move. So let's go with so now. Okay, so this is kind of very symmetrical in structure, and I mean it's a decent position from both sides, I believe. Probably 95. Okay, I have this, that, this, maybe. I believe that's a good choice to make knight b3, knight a5, put pressure. Because this is a backward pawn and it's on a closed file, so I cannot attack the backward pawn but the rook obviously, but I can attack by knight to a5, provoking b6, and after that this is hanging. Alright, I believe there's no harm in going for this. b6, and I think this can be done with the idea of takes, and we take and they take, and then rook takes, or maybe pawn takes. I mean, I want to go for it. The point is, after this happens, we have bishop to b7, and kind of the same thing. Like, I'm losing a bishop and knight for a rook and pawn, so equal trade. But no, I also win the pawn, so I'll be +1 eventually, which is a good thing, I feel. So I can even not allow those things to happen. Something like I may have this, but then I allow I don't know what do I allow, maybe rook 8 or something. Okay, b6 takes, and then I can just do this, right? And trying to keep things simple, but then b4 pawn is very loose, which is one of the case. And if the rook moves, d6 is also hanging. Yeah, I guess I like this setup more. I want to now go for this, because now if knight takes, we go bishop a6, rook moves, and probably I have this knight to c6, pressurizing the bishop on e7, and if the bishop moves wherever I have castles, the bishop will move where? That's the whole question. The bishop can go here, and I can still take the bishop. Takes and castles. This is kind of like white has gained advantage now because of this whole plan of c4. That's why I like this structure. Whenever the bishops come on f4 and f5. So let's see what my opponent has played. My opponent has just captured, so I'll go like this, hitting the rook. Making them go there, and then I also have this. But I also have knight c6 directly. The bishop is kind of under hit. I'm not so sure. Yeah, so now I can take one more pawn by going there. I guess I like this setup more. After this I have that, and then probably b5. Also knight b5 is there, so I guess I like this setup more. Okay, let's see. I go there, I take, and then I have this knight to b3, take, and yeah, I believe I can go for bishop here. I hope I'm not allowing any counterplay here. Knight c4 is there, but I just take the rook first. Okay, bishop to b7. If you go here, I have takes and knight b5. Yes, so my opponent is trying to go for that, and at the end I guess he forgot that I am having knight to b3, which is where white has claimed a decent advantage in the position. The knight c3 is there, but the rook is hanging, so I take, and then I just maybe play some move. I'm not so sure what, but some move, and then I'm just ready to castle. What my opponent can do here is just takes and play something like knight to e4, and I believe castling is the best move. Then takes, yeah, he'll be getting a pawn. Yes, knight e4 is actually good, and here the main thing is I cannot protect the pawn, so I'll be anyways losing material. I believe I can just castle here, allow them to take the pawn, because the king cannot go and save it. Yes, just castles. Takes. and I'm still +1, so that's good. Now the main thing is I cannot go to rook c1 because of knight e2 check and take my rook, and I cannot go here, so I have to make some space for the rook to come out. And they want here and they want to take this guy. So I believe knight here is fine. Knight e2, king goes somewhere. Take my bishop, takes. I guess that's fine. Bishop to d3 is a move for now, but I have some safe moves. So that I guess I have some rook to e1. That's why I guess knight movement is required, because if I just try to save the bishop, I guess here, had I just tried to save the bishop somewhere like bishop there, I guess that can also be done. Okay, check. I go here, and he takes. I take. Okay, it's kind of a endgame situation where I'm winning one pawn. This is going to be lost. Okay. Okay, so I have to go like this, and I have to go like that. I think so. That's the way. My d4 pawn is weak, which can be taken sometime. So knight here, I just take, and then I bring the king in the game. And I believe that's the correct way to play this position. What's this? I guess he blundered a pawn. Maybe. Yes, I guess has blundered a pawn. And there's a small checkmate idea, which maybe my opponent miss. This will become a checkmate. Suppose if he plays a random move, rook to a8 is just a checkmate because the king cannot escape. He sees that, I guess. Okay. So I guess now I can just play something like knight here. I don't know. Everything looks good actually. I have to just play fast. And the position is already decent for me. Like, okay, I'm forcing them to take. Otherwise, this game will still go on, I guess. Oh, they have this. So when you are +2 in any position, the best way to play those kind of position is just try to exchange equal value pieces. But here, okay, so this is a decent move because I'm trying to keep all the pawns on the dark squares. But this move is not allowed, so I can go g3 and then I can prepare for f4. It's still a very, very drawish kind of a situation where I don't want to exchange all the pawns, and I want to keep more center pawns in the position so that my king can be useful in some lines. Okay, this is a move, but now I have this. Okay, I'm not so sure what my opponent's trying to do here. If I go this, and okay, he has king there. All right. So if I go I don't have to even do that. I can just play some move. Probably rook g1 is a nice way to play here. I'm not so sure, but just go back all the way back and try to sweep in like this. I'm not so sure why I'm thinking this is still a draw, but this is looking kind of dangerous to me. Slightly dangerous to me. Bishop e4 checking e3. King. Okay, fine. go here. Funny enough, if this pawn wasn't there, then this is gone. Kind of. The game is saved for now. So I can go here. Bishop g2. And I'm actually not so sure what's going on right now. I have rook g8. If you take, I have rook g5 checkmate, I believe. So this is just checkmate, right? Yes, it should be checkmate. And how will you stop that? By playing what? So this, you're forced to play this, and then I just go here. Oh, this is checkmate, right? Nope. Yeah, this is checkmate. Even if long back, I guess if my opponent is forced to play something like pawn f7, and I think I have to just go here, and now you can take, fine, I go check, and this is again getting over pretty much. Okay, wherever you go, I don't care much because I'm having connected passed pawns, and this is just finished, all finished. I mean, I'm having different ways to play, obviously. So one can be with check. Okay, bishop goes here, I just push. You push, I push, and this is just game. You push, and I don't even have to push anything. I guess it's just going here. Probably just take there, checkmate. It's a nice game. Let's check the accuracy of this one. So the plan actually worked with the queen side attack with the pawns, and maybe the computer is analyzing some lines. The 90% accuracy for me with one blunder, computer shows. I don't know what's the blunder here. Bishop b7 is not the best approach here. I guess knight c6 was the best approach here. In this moment, I was trying to decide what is the best way to continue. Bishop b7, what's the point? Rook a7, yeah, I saw that, but then after this, what's a good thing? So I can just go here, but now knight b3 won't work. But what's the main point? Knight b3 is not working or what? Okay, so I'm allowing rook c8 in some lines, right? I guess takes and knight. Yes, this is coming like bishop d3. Okay. Alright, so I guess knight c6 is a better choice. And the whole point is now the bishop has no square. Bishop d8 has to be played, and I was considering just takes and go bishop c7, which is the best way. Nope, even b5. Oh my goodness, computer is just going crazy here. b5. Okay, takes. What's the point? Takes, rook takes, and now bishop c7 is not so good. Computer doesn't like it or what? Bishop c7. What's the counter play here? d7, rook d7. I just take, rook d6. Rook d6 is fine, but then yeah, I guess it's fine. You take, and I take, you take, and but still I'm +2, so this is like good compensation. I go here, and then again this is going. So whenever someone plays this setup with the yeah, so as I was saying, whenever someone plays this setup with this bishop on f5, I always prefer playing this c4 idea. And the whole point, the whole difference with c3 is that after they can play c5, if I do the same thing, I don't have the move to push on c5. Now they can, suppose if I just play normal, if I just play normal chess, they can push me. And now the same plan starts working for black. That's why I like c4. Because obviously we have to ask ourselves this question, that whenever the bishop moves from c8, what exactly the bishop leaves the control. So the point is, the bishop, whenever it sits on c8, it controls b7, and the moment the bishop comes on f5, b7 is hanging, so we want to just go and quickly attack it as in the fastest manner possible. c3 is still fine, I guess. That's still the main idea, but I believe with c4 it becomes slightly more aggressive. So I like the setup more. It doesn't remain London anymore in its traditional sense, but it changes into kind of a queen's gambit opening in which the bishop is on f4 rather than being on g5. So that's the kind of setup we are in right now. And the game went on, and here, there. Okay, let's check the, yeah, everything is just forced. Yeah, everything is just main moves only. So yes, b4 there. h3 is important to not give away the bishop, because my opponent is trying knight h5 at some point after I play e3. h6, same idea, and then e3 there, and then knight e2 was very important to figure out. Knight e2 there, and then you go here. I'm not forcing castling. I'm not trying to work on castling, because guys, in the closed positions, that's what I always say, that whenever the files are closed, like these guys, whenever there are pawns from both sides of the board, the whole idea is that we can ignore castling for some time, because the whole board is closed and we have to just think of attacking on the weak pawns. And now my opponent has no way to stop this. Maybe bishop d8 can be one of the ideas. Instead of castling, maybe bishop d8 can be one of the ideas to stop me, and then I cannot play knight a5, obviously. So maybe I can play something like bishop e2, just normal. And now he can castle, and then the game will go on, something like the game will continue. I'm not so sure what's going on, but the game will continue. The bishop is slightly misplaced, and it cannot even go on c7 because takes knight a5, and it cannot even go on e7 because the moment you move the bishop, I have knight a5 to hit. That's the whole point. And the game will continue. White is slightly better, but with not so clear advantage. What's going on? We are not so sure. Maybe they can try e5 because my king is in the center. And yeah, de, knight d, g5, hg, probably hg, knight goes somewhere, knight e4 probably, knight d7, rook g3, computer says. And the game will continue. I don't believe that white is having a decent advantage anymore, because I mean, yeah, I mean, it's still playable from both sides of the board, because now they can connect their rooks because the knight is there, so the bishop cannot take. And the game will continue. Like, I cannot say what's going on. We can play the position for lot many moves. Okay, so this was a interesting game. It was an interesting game. My opponent, let's see the game. How did the game go, by the way? So after takes, we went for this idea where my opponent allowed knight a5, and then everything started to happen. And this is, yeah, this is still fine, but then knight c6 was something to be played, okay, which I did not do. And knight b3 there, takes, knight e4, and after I castle, I gave up one pawn, but the c6 pawn is still backward. So backward pawns, you know, in closed positions, backward pawns are very important to understand. How do you try to activate your pieces to start pressurizing on the backward pawns? Now this is backward pawn, this is backward pawn, but the whole point is it's very easy to attack on this guy because it's on a semi-open file, but it's not so easy to attack this guy because the king is protecting, it's on a closed file. So that's why it goes without saying that you have to kind of bring your pieces like this. Okay, so knight b3 there, check, there. I played rook to a1, which I'm not so sure is the best. Yeah, rook a1 is actually the best move to activate and try to put the same idea. And then my opponent blundered. I guess I was expecting him to play like this, and I'm still not so sure what's going on. And takes, and then I'll put pressure over here, which my opponent cannot defend actually. So he'll have to play this position by being down 2 points, and this is still winning. Eventually white is going to have a passed pawn, and king will be sitting somewhere like on e3. Okay, so here, there, and then it was kind of a winning position. Yeah, this is like forced mate or something. Okay, what about f6? This is like mate or what? How do I calculate a mate here? So oh, if so, why will I even go rook f8? Why not just take this guy? So they have to. I mean, I don't know what they will play. Rook g5 is just checkmate. Let's see what's the computer. f6 is what the computer recommends, but then rook g2 and probably h4 and then king f3. Now my opponent is under zugzwang. The king is trapped. They have to capture, and the moment they capture, I guess I can still capture like this, and they have to push pawn, no other move, and then this is a forcing. Oops, this is a forcing checkmate. Nice. Okay, so I'll stop here. We are right now at right 2290. It's going good so far, and I'll stop here, guys. I'll see you now tomorrow. By the time, take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.